Global Intifada just echoed through the heart of Manhattan, and it's not a slogan. It's a lightning rod. Thousands of voices rose in unison Saturday afternoon, turning Midtown into a sea of signs, cowbells, and chants that many Jewish families say make them feel targeted in their own city. But here's where it gets controversial. Some marchers insist the phrase is only about justice, while lawmakers, rabbis, and terror victim advocates hear a clear call for violence. Who's right? That question is now ricocheting from City Hall to Capitol Hill. The scene outside Bryant Park looked, at first glance, like any other large-scale protest. Homemade placards, spirited drumbeats, and the familiar cry of "Free, Free Palestine." Yet the moment the words "globalize the Intifada" left the loudspeakers, the mood shifted. To many listeners, especially those who lost loved ones in the October 7, 2023 Hamas assault on southern Israel, the term is inseparable from bus bombings, cafe shootings, and stabbing sprees that have killed or maimed thousands of Jews since the late 1980s. To them, globalizing that history sounds like exporting the violence far beyond the Middle East. And this is the part most people miss. The phrase doesn't carry a single agreed-upon definition. In Arabic, intifada literally means shaking off, and some activists claim they're using it metaphorically to shake off occupation, apartheid, or foreign aid to Israel. Critics reply that words have baggage, and this particular baggage includes blood. The Anti-Defamation League, for example, classifies globalize the Intifada as anti-Semitic incitement, while civil liberties groups warn that banning speech can backfire. The result is a linguistic minefield where intent and impact collide. Enter New York City mayoral hopeful Zohran Mamdani, a democratic socialist who has built his campaign on housing and climate justice. When reporters asked whether he would denounce the chant, Mamdani sidestepped. "It is not language I use," he said, adding that he prefers to showcase my vision for the city through my words and my actions. The non-answer ignited a firestorm. Top Democrats, local rabbis, and editorial boards demanded a clearer stance. Critics accused Mamdani of dog-whistling to a hard-left base. Supporters praised his refusal to police protest rhetoric. The controversy is now a central subplot in the 2025 mayoral race. Meanwhile, on Capitol Hill, the debate is moving from Twitter threads to the House floor. A bipartisan resolution introduced by Representatives Josh Gottheimer, DNJ, and Rudy Yakum, R-IND, would formally label Globalize the Intifada as a call for violence against Israeli and Jewish people worldwide. Gottheimer, who is Jewish, recounted how past intifadas unleashed suicide bombings on buses and Passover setters. Globalizing it, he said, is a direct call for violence against Jews. It must be condemned. Yakum, for his part, called the phrase reprehensible and warned that no one in America should have to live in fear because of their religion or ethnicity. The proposed resolution cites chilling examples: the arson murder of pro-Israel demonstrators in Boulder, Colorado, and the shooting deaths of 2 Israeli embassy staffers in Washington, D.C. If passed, the measure would not criminalize speech. First Amendment protections remain intact, but it would put lawmakers on record, discourage public officials from echoing the chant, and potentially influence how police allocate resources at future rallies. So where does this leave the average New Yorker scrolling through videos of the march? Somewhere between free speech absolutism and the visceral fear of seeing a neighbor's synagogue vandalized. One protester told a local reporter, "I'm here because Palestinian children deserve to live without bombs." A counter-protester replied, "My grandmother survived the Holocaust. When I hear intifada, I hear pogrom." Both statements can't be fully reconciled, yet both are shouted with equal conviction. Which brings us to the uncomfortable question: can a single phrase be both a cry for liberation and a threat of violence, depending on who's listening? Or should society draw a bright line and say, this far, no further? The answer may determine not only the tone of future demonstrations, but also the safety of Jewish communities and the credibility of politicians who hope to lead a city that prides itself on tolerance. Now it's your turn. Do you believe globalize the Intifada is protected political speech? Or does it cross into incitement? Should elected officials be forced to condemn it, or is silence a valid option? Drop your thoughts below. Agree, disagree, or land somewhere in between. The conversation is far from over, and your voice might tip the balance.